Hello everyone, it's Julie here, meeting you up again with some of the movement with my sewing pieces. Today I'm going to show you two stitches which are very simple to do. I'm going to show you fly stitch and I'll just show you what that's like. That's a fly stitch just there, and also a bullion stitch. A bullion stitch, it's like that one, like the ladder going down there, and there's another ladder going along there. Today I'm going to work on a completely new piece. I've chosen some colours, some cottons to go with it at the moment. I've not chosen any wools yet, but I always go for a black, especially if there's black inside the design, which most of mine I've got some black in. A blue, which will bring the blue in there. A very light green, a mustardy yellow, and a reddy orange. Now I should have threaded my needle ready, so I'll just do that if you just bear with me. What I'll do is I'll use some cotton. This is a satin, well, a silk thread. It's a vintage one, which is quite difficult to get now, to be honest. Just thread my needle. And I always put a knot in the end of my cottons. I'm just going to show you the bullion stitch in action. Now I usually use the bullion stitch to sort of do the interface between two different fabrics. So I'll show you on the mustardy colour there, and then the patterned cloth. I'll start from underneath and just push your needle through. And then the idea is to do, it's a bit like running stitches, only doing them side by side, a bit like a ladder. And then push it through. As you can see, I'll show you up closely when I've done a little bit more. It sort of connects the two pieces of fabric together. And it's really good for tying your stitching and your whole piece together. I always look at my sewing pieces like I do a piece of art on canvas, really, because I am predominantly a painter. I do paint and exhibit. So when I look at my sewing, I look at it a bit like a canvas and try and do repeats of colours and patterns, and I find that this brings it together. Right, so you can I'll show you the ones that I've almost completed before I go. You will have seen them before I started any work on them a couple of weeks ago. So I think I've got 3 of them ready to use as book covers. So I will be working on some journals which will be for sale on my website with the slow stitch covers on. But that's going to be another week or so because I've got to make the journals. You know, there's only so much time in a day, and trying to create everything and run your life, you know what it's like. It's not always easy getting everything done. I must admit though, I find the stitching in the evening probably one of the most rewarding things I do, and great use of my time. And I can also, if there's a drama on, I can still watch the drama as I do the stitching. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do like to sit down around 9 PM at night for an hour, watch a drama and stitch as well. So there you go. That is showing the fly stitch. I hope you can see that. So I shall cover the whole of that area with fly stitch. I'll put it to the side for now. Right, I'll take you through where I am. Like I said, this one I'm just starting, and I've done some bullion stitch there just to show you. This one I started doing a bit of bullion stitch. This was last night, so I've done bullion stitch to join up the different fabrics, and I've also done it onto the plain green fabric with the contrasting colour there. Also, what I've used here, I've done some seed stitch here, or stab stitch, and I've used what you call sashiko thread. This is a sashiko thread. It's a Japanese term, and although I'm not doing sashiko work as such, I'm using the type of thread they might use. And this is brilliant because it's all different colours, as you can see, so you get a really pretty effect with the colour. And I've used the sashiko thread to do these seed stab stitches there. I've also done them onto the green silk there, and some more just running stitches, slow stitches across there. I did find an older piece of vintage cloth which I didn't know what to do with, and it had got all little elves embroidered on, and it seemed a shame to throw it away. So throughout the pieces I've stitched on, cut it out and stitched them on, so I've got little pixies on everything. So a little pixie on that one, and there's the little pixie which I thought blended in with the colour on that one. This is one you might remember from the beginning, and this one is almost finished. Kept the colourways fairly pale here. Again, little pixie on there, but you can see there's French knots and lots of different stitches. There isn't any, well, there's a little bit of bullion stitching to do the flowers, but I haven't done bullion stitches to connect on this one. I added in some plant threads to bring it together. I felt it needed to be brought together, and a few little back stitches through the rows. I may add some more to just make it gel together. So that one's almost complete, so that one will be incorporated onto a journal cover like that. This one I like very much. This one I was working on as well last night. You can see on this one again another little pixie that I found, and the bullion stitches there, running stitches through the silk, and I've done little orange stars in between. On this one I've just done some freehand embroidery on the Japanese silk there. Lots of bullion stitches through there. Done lots of running stitches and spirals on the fabric there, and I copied this onto the velvet. Velvet, you know, it's very interesting when you do it on velvet, because of the thick pile, it sort of sinks in and gives a nice sort of plush effect. As you can see there, I did 2 strands there and 6 strands there, so it stands out much more with 6 strands than with the 2 strands. I also did a run of a free sewn, I suppose, leaves come flower, just back stitch I used on those, and I've just done loads of running slow stitch and some stab stitches in the corner on that one. So that one will be used again as a journal cover, and I must admit this is probably one of my favourite ones. This is another one that is almost complete. This one I'm going to do some more freehand black plants running through it, and add some more just ordinary running stitches through there, but that will make quite an attractive journal cover. Now I still have this one to work on. I'm quite looking forward to working on this one too. This is done on some wool, some curtains I've got in the house, bits of curtains and some thicker fabrics. But I think this one it's quite symmetrical, this, how I put it on. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I shall use some wools and things in that one. Another small one, which again I haven't started, but similar colourways to some of the previous ones. And another one of the black dress material with all the bits with the velvet and different pieces there. Right, so what I'll do is I'll just take you through the stitches again on the canvas. So first of all we'll do the bullion stitch. So the bullion stitch is again very straightforward, very similar technique to doing a running stitch. So just pull your needle through the back of your fabric, then all you're going to do is like do a ladder sort of shape and just take the needle through and keep going across. These can be any length, or well I should say any width, as you go along, as you can see there. selection of stitches to use on your sewed stitch, so have a go and work your works and see how you go along with them. I hope I've been helpful and you've managed to get a few more tips. Thank you for watching.